Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit the ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video. Welcome everybody, let's take a look at the euro currency again. Well guys, as you know, recently the most bright markets were commodities, especially the crude oil and gold market. You have seen probably what has happened there. On the euro currency, it's not really big action, and mostly we could say that market stands in decision. That's normal because many investors just expect what information we will get on the European Central Bank meeting on Thursday. When the investors just wait the comments from the Mario Draghi and what will be said on the subject of possible quantitative easing program, how it will stand, what bonds European Central Bank will start to purchase, whether they will start to buy back the government bonds and so on, what the value of the program. So that's a lot of questions appearing. Strategically, our long-term analysis still stands valid, and we still stand on the point that euro currency probably will be depressed in the nearest future. That comes not only the opposite courses in the development of the economy in the European Union and the United States, but also some problems and uncertainty between the Russia and the European Union and the trading activity, trading partnership. That's very important because you know probably guys from the news that the Russia has closed the South Stream project of gas transporting line to the Europe, and this is really a significant moment in the mutual relationship. So this just carries some uncertainty, and hardly it will be positive for the European economy in general. I'm not speaking on Russia, that's also will lose something, but the Russia right now has no relation to the Euro-United States dollar currency pair, and that's why that's beyond the scope of this discussion. The mostly we are interested with the Europe and how it will impact on the rate of the European currency to the United States dollar, and we think that in the long-term perspective, market euro probably will be depressed. That's why we still stand on our target. It's 122, even in the medium-term perspective, that probably should be reached. At the same time, as market hasn't shown any significant activity recently, we mostly will discuss the tactical issues today, and these tactical issues mostly stand with the patterns that we have here in the intraday charts, and the major point that we have here is in fact this pattern. This pattern calls as the high wave pattern and mostly indicates the indecision of the market. What is more interesting that this pattern has appeared right at the December monthly pivot point, and as you will see later, that's also in an area of the weekly pivot point. So that is a break-even point for the sentiment on the market in terms of the pivot points, and that's also the break-even moment from the terms of the pattern, because this pattern mostly indicates indecision. That's not the directional pattern, and further direction will depend on the breakout. So if market will take it out of the lows of the high wave pattern, it means that market probably will continue move lower. If it will take the top, in this case we could expect some upside action. Currently, as market is still coiling inside of this pattern, we can't say that definitely that market will continue move lower, although we prefer mostly the bearish direction, because on our weekly research we have discussed some nuances on the intraday charts that point that market looks a bit heavy, and that maybe the bearish power is a bit greater right now, and even in the short-term perspective, because market wasn't able to complete some swings, some patterns that was forming on previously on the intraday charts. And that makes us think that the chances on the downward continuation looks a bit preferable and greater than the chances on the upside reversal. Also, we have side by side two bearish grabbers on the weekly time frame chart, and as you know, the higher time frame is, the more stronger the time frame. So the weekly time frame chart is the stronger and overrules the daily time frame chart. That's why, from that standpoint, from that perspective, downward action seems more probable. But we talk about this with a bit caution, because we see that some calling here. We see that market still stands at the break-even, and I will show you the chart of the Swiss franc. What we have here, guys, here we have two stop grabbers to the downside. That's one. The first, that's corresponding to this one on the euro. Here we don't have the grabber, but on the Swiss franc we have here the small grabber. Maybe it will be destroyed today, who knows. But here and here we have them. And potentially, theoretically, it could happen, this market breakout to the downside. It will mean that the euro currency could show some upside action. At the same time, take a look at this area. That's the combination of the monthly pivot resistance one and the daily overbought. And if even market will reach this area, it will not erase the potential bearish grabber on the weekly time frame chart yet. That's why we call this action mostly as the tactical. On the 4-hour time frame chart, since market still calling at the break-even point, at the edge between the different scenarios, I have drawn both of them. The first scenario, as you can see, looks like potential butterfly to the upside. While I'm speaking on the daily chart, you can see that market has dropped lower. And to be honest, guys, here was the hint on the possible bullish grabber while I have speaking here. But right now you can see market has shown significant drop, and probably this moment now is not very important. Okay, and in general, as you can see, this action really becomes fast to the downside. Picture is changing on right before our eyes. So maybe this scenario right now will be not very interesting. Anyway, I will continue. So 10 minutes ago, that was the interesting setup. That's good point on the possible upside action here, and this could take the shape of the butterfly. You can see that the target potential butterfly stands right at the same area as on the daily time frame stand this monthly pivot resistance one, daily overbought. So if even this butterfly will be completed, the grabbers on the weekly chart will remain valid, and completion of this butterfly in upside action will not change the overall picture on the monthly on the weekly chart. So if we will get this some sort of the ABCD pattern, you can see that any pattern will remain below this top. Okay, and the grabbers will remain valid. The invalidation point of this scenario right here. So the market will taken out of these lows, the butterfly will be erased, and in this case we should be ready at least for this ABCD pattern. But I suspect that if this lows will be taken out, it will mean that we should be ready for the deep reaction to the downside. And this might be grabbers on the weekly will start to work, and market probably will taken out of these lows, and we really could meet the target of this butterfly pattern, because you can see it stand above the oversold and could be reached significantly easy. On the hourly chart, we continue to talk on the harmonic swings. So you can see market has shown double retracement to the downside that we have discussed on the weekly research, was not able to complete the upside swing, and that was our thought why we think that the bearish development is more probable here. Later, yesterday, it has completed it to the upside, but it was a bit too late, because this action to the downside has been doubled, and for normal development, market should double the upside swing as well, but this hasn't happened. Market turned to the downside. It means that the tendency probably has changed here, and we should be ready for the downward action. That's why, although we have pattern here, although we have the hint of the possible butterfly and so on, guys, the chances, we still think that chances on the downward behavior here looks a bit more probable. That's why if you're bearish, you could wait for erasing of these potential bullish patterns, and after that, maybe you could wait for a possible retracement for taking the short position with the hope that market will reach the target on the daily time frame chart right here. If you're bullish, guys, the only chance that you could make is that could take that, you could try to take the position based on this butterfly with the stop below the invalidation point here. This will be a relatively small loss if you will take it. But with this plunge down, this action to the downside, with the problems with these harmonic swings, and in general the market moves below the weekly pivot and monthly pivots, so I don't think that will be a really nice idea to take in the long position right here. So it's very difficult to force yourself to take the position right now on the long side of the market. Well, if you trade on the daily time frame chart, maybe the way to beat it also will be not the bad idea at all. At least when you will see the close below, resolving the situation with this high wave pattern. So if market will take it out of these lows, that will give us a bit more confidence. The market will probably continue to move lower. So that's all that I would like to say about the euro currency right now. That being said, we mostly think that a bit skewed. We gravitate to the opinion that the chances on the downward action seems preferable right now. Although we see some other patterns that point at probably some bullish patterns, but it seems that the downward action seems more preferable. But the major event will be on Thursday, the European Central Bank meeting, so we'll see what will happen.